You gotta stand up for what you believe in. What would you do if you knew about something that could literally change the world? Would you talk about it, or would you keep it to yourself? You're not the expert. You never claimed to be. However, you're still aware of an amazing technology that could transform our economical and geopolitical landscape. Innovation and prosperity would lead to hope for the future. A cheap, clean, safe, and viable alternative energy. On March 23, 1989, Stanley Pons and Martin Fleischmann stunned the world with their announcement that they had witnessed a nuclear reaction from a tabletop apparatus, also known as cold fusion. The media and the world were on fire. But after some time, when some prestigious universities like MIT couldn't replicate the experiment, they cried foul and fraud and hurled personal assassinations like you can tell by looking at these two that they were incompetent boobs. The media fell out of favor, the funding stopped, and it became difficult, if not impossible, to get a patent. Cold fusion was untouchable and called a pathological science. But that's not the end of the story. The scientific researchers went underground. In 2003, I discovered Infinite Energy, a website by Dr. Eugene Mallove. I read his memo to the president that was presented to President Clinton at the urging of Arthur C. Clarke. I was inspired and hopeful, so I wrote a song. I thought I would take something I was passionate about, cold fusion, and use my gift, my voice, to communicate my message. But I must confess that the first time I sang that in front of two friends, it didn't go so well. In fact, they laughed hysterically. So I've been a little reluctant on singing it again. But something deep inside me has been telling me to find the courage to try again. So I updated this first verse with information and research that I know is happening now in 2013. It goes something like this. There's been conferences like the ICCF that have been going on for a long time. It's been 25 years since this topic made the cover of Time. Since then, there have been thousands of successful experiments, yet somehow this seems to escape the mainstream press. There's a 1 megawatt industrial plant in the works with Andrea Rossi. Peter Hagelstein and Mitchell Schwartz have their nano device and a course at MIT. Toyota and Mitsubishi have done their own LENR experiments. NASA and Boeing are working with LENR and airplanes. Deucalion has its Hyperion. Randall Mills has its Hydrino and Black Plower. There's even been a university professor from Oregon. John Dash does cold fusion experiments with high school students. Desalination and LENR. There's a Martin Fleischmann Memorial Project too. Now I ask you, doesn't any of this deserve to be on the news? I'd like to tell you all a story about something we should all know. I'm here to tell you it's no delusion. Cold fusion has been proven. Just go to an old website of Dr. Eugene Mallove. He died in 2004, but his memory lives on. And you can go see Dr. Edmund Storms. He'll explain the specifics so you can see for yourselves. Look, I'm not asking you to believe me. I'm saying go see, you'll see the truth speaks for itself. And then it will become clear that cold fusion is real. They've been doing experiments for more than 30 years. It levels all playing fields. Don't you want to know about it? Please, let's discuss this. What's pathological? At least the scientists deserve more money. There's no doubt they've had to deal with withheld funding, and despite being forced underground, a solution Mills Hydrino may explain why fusion is found. Together we can learn the truth. For the sake of our youth, we must engage the public. Why not have an honest talk about it? Just imagine a better future in which free energy can lead to peace and harmony. That is what I dream for the sake of humanity. And on that note, I leave it up to you. What are you gonna do? The future will be decided. I know, I just want to be a part of it. I hope my song will inspire and help reignite the fire that was once cold fusion. I hope this topic goes viral and the media picks up on it, and the public demands that the scientific researchers finally get the funding that they so richly deserve. And I dream that Johnny Depp and his crew will want to make a movie about Dr. Eugene Mallove and Martin Fleischmann. The next generation should not only know their names and their work, but should remember them and honor them as the heroes that they were. These two great men, whom I never met, I just read about on the internet, affected me nevertheless. These courageous men gave their lives to fighting the establishment to stand up for what they believed in, and I believe their legacies have yet to be written. Besides, after 25 years, isn't it finally time we knew the truth?